Welcome to the April 6th edition of Litter Media Live for this first full week of April. My name is Aaron Glandon, and this is a guy who's never had a Pop-Tart.
Not true.
This is what I heard over the weekend from Mike Smith. He told me to ask you about Pop-Tarts.
There was a time in which I kept Pop-Tarts in a file cabinet at the radio station because I just needed a little something. We worked mornings forever. And then one day, we had guests coming in from the Ross County Health District, and I had a Pop-Tart in my hand, and I was getting ready to walk out. And Mike says, this gives Dan a chance to go out and have his Pop-Tart. And forgive me, I can't recall the lady's name that was there, and she goes, Pop-Tart? Oh, Dan, those are not good for you. And so I stopped. I went ahead and I said, you know what? No more. And I threw them out. But Mike Smith acted as if every day I always had a Pop-Tart from that point on. And we're talking 12 to 15 years. The story was still, oh, you got to go have your Pop-Tart.
What's your Pop-Tart of choice? What flavor?
It used to be strawberry with icing. The frosting on the front.
I like the cherry and the blueberry. Those are my two favorites.
My wife enjoys the fudge chocolate or chocolate fudge, whichever you call it. But I haven't had a Pop-Tart in, well, probably since that would have been 2003, maybe.
Have you had a toaster strudel?
I have had those, yes.
I like those more than Pop-Tarts.
But breakfast food and I just, unless it's eggs, bacon, and hash browns, I don't have breakfast anymore.
I'll say this. The place where my wife works, I won't say it out loud because they're not a sponsor of this show. The place where my wife works, you know where it is.
I do.
They make homemade Pop-Tarts, and they're quite delicious.
Yeah.
So if you're ever going to break your streak, I recommend doing
the difference between delicious and nutritious. There's a line there.
Well, with the strawberry ones, they fill it with jam instead of an artificial.
Gotcha.
So it's probably a lot better for you than a mass-produced Pop-Tart in a factory would be.
I see. Sorry, Kellogg's.
I always liked the Great Value brand more because that's what my mom bought.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You go with what you were raised on sometimes.
Yeah. You know. I think Honey Grams are better than Golden Grams as far as cereal goes. That's the Great Value version.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Nature versus nurture.
I will have the occasional bowl of cereal. Cheerios. Honey Nut Cheerios is my go-to there.
That's good.
But, I haven't had a Pop-Tart forever. So thank you, Mike Smith, for wasting the first 5 minutes of our program today.
Hey, people are entertained. You want to start the show with some entertainment, some juicy gossip.
All right, up ahead, we will get you caught up today with what's making news, real news as opposed to Pop-Tart news. And we'll also jump into what's happening in the way of sports and this date in history. It's all just ahead, which holds a very close spot to our hearts.
You want to talk about weather?
No, this date in history.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
All right, now let's talk about the forecast. It's cold outside. Well, colder than it has been. We did have the frost warning and everything overnight, though. Cooling down significantly. We'll have temperatures today, maybe up around 60, right at 59 degrees with some sunshine. Then back around freezing again tonight. We'll have a morning high around 28 as you start your day, and we'll not get out of the 40s, it seems, for your Tuesday. And Wednesday will be pretty much the same. But we're looking at getting back to gradually warmer weather towards the end of the week. Maybe around Thursday, we might see temperatures back again up to around 70. So looking forward to that. All right, coming up in a moment, we'll get you caught up to date with news. But first, Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is your trusted comfort advisor. When it comes to the heat in your home, the cool in your home, or the plumbing in your home, and it's not landlocked to just homes. They do businesses as well. Reach out to Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Click on this ad anywhere you see it on our website, littermedia.com. Embedded inside of that is their website. It'll take you right to accuratehvac.com where you can learn yet even more about accurate heating, cooling, and plumbing.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Intermedia Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Intermedia Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
Now that's one fast mower. Take command of your lawn with Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower.
When you go to our website, littermedia.com, you'll see some of the things we're sharing with you today. That's one of the stories we'll chat about here in just a bit. And you can always go back and see what we have been talking about as well, such as the visit from Senator Bernie Moreno that happened this past Friday. All that available at littermedia.com. The Chillicothe and Ross County Public Library are hosting their annual Touch a Truck event, and it's tomorrow. You can get up close to the big and small rigs while learning about the important roles they play in our community. You'll see a number of exciting vehicles on display, like a fire truck, police cruiser will be there, concrete mixer, and many more. It'll be all right there in the parking lot of the main library on South Payne Street. The first half hour will be low sensory, so no horns, sirens, or flashing lights. But then after that, everything cuts loose.
Yes, they do.
Again, this takes place again on Payne Street there at the main library from 4 until 5:30 p.m. Parental supervision is required, and it's always fun to see the faces on the kids, their expressions when they are inside one of these trucks and they grab that big wheel and they start going back and forth with it. It's priceless.
Yes. Governor Mike DeWine has declared April as Fraud Prevention Month in Ohio, and the Department of Insurance Director Judith L. French is urging Ohioans to protect themselves from insurance fraud, which is one of the most prevalent crimes in the United States. If you suspect insurance fraud or misconduct, report it to the Ohio Department of Insurance at 800-686-1527 or insurance.ohio.gov. You can look for tips on how to find and combat fraud at littermedia.com.
As a part of the Ohio Department of Transportation District 9's Planning Department, the district's Environmental Office is looking for input from the public on culvert replacement, a project they have going on State Route 138 over in Highland County. It's proposed to replace the culvert on State Route 138 between 771 and Duff Road in Highland County. The project is located in the rural Paint Township, so if you've got a written comment you'd like to submit, make sure you do that by May 2nd. More details available at littermedia.com.
Fayette County Public Health has released its 2025 annual report showcasing the department's work to protect health, prevent disease, and promote wellness across the community. In 2025, Fayette County Public Health issued 404 permits and licenses, which is a 28% increase over 2024. This reflected continued growth in local development and business activity. They reported a 32% increase in referrals to the Breast and Cervical Cancer Project, helping more residents access life-saving cancer screenings and early detection services. They also provided health education screenings and outreach through schools, events, and partnerships across the county. You can read more details at littermedia.com or find the full annual report at faycohd.org.
Fayco, not Faygo, which
Right.
used to be a soft drink.
FAYCOHD.org.
The Fairfield County Commissioner's Office celebrated the newly renovated Workforce Center last Wednesday with a ribbon-cutting ceremony at the facility on Coombe Path Road over in Fairfield County. The event brought together students, educators, business leaders, and elected officials to mark a major investment in workforce development and career readiness in Fairfield County. Attendees had the opportunity to tour the upgraded facility that now features a state-of-the-art healthcare training area, also modern construction labs, and expanded public meeting spaces designed to better serve the community. As always, read more at littermedia.com.
Amanda Clear Creek Local Schools welcomed Ohio State Representative Kevin D. Miller on April 1st. Miller experienced the AC school district in numerous classroom settings and grade levels and toured recent facility upgrades. During his visit, AC students had the opportunity to interact with Representative Miller, who participated in an interview conducted by Addison Singleton, who's a student in AC's Career Tech Information Technology pathway. In addition, he observed AC high school biology students using the anatomage table instructed by science teacher Mrs. Cindy Montney. Anatomage is an advanced real human-based medical education platform featuring digital formats that provide an accurate 3D representation and simulation of real anatomy, physiology, and pathology. Isn't that pretty cool?
That is pretty cool.
Very exciting stuff. You can read more at littermedia.com.
Now, our feel-good video of the day comes to us from Pickaway Ross CTC. It's set up by Principal Thornsley. Home from the U.S. Army, Ryan Arenas was snuck in to surprise his sister Yanira. Just let the tears begin as, "There's my brother. What are you doing home?"
The shock on her face.
And then she gives him this long embrace. She will eventually wipe some tears here, kind of pat him on the face a little bit and say, "I'm glad you're home." Congratulations. What a feel-good moment. I always love these things. And thanks to our friends at Pickaway Ross CTC making this available, this moment. And did you see the escort here? The deputy sheriff stepping over? Yeah, he's one of our ball players on the Worthington Adena.
All right.
The Adena Worthingtons.
He was a big dude.
Yes.
He looked like he could hit a home run with ease.
Zach Ray, he is the what do they call the student resource officer? I think it's the proper pronunciation. But he is the guy there that makes sure everything goes straight and is well taken care of. And Zach came to Chillicothe from Vinton County and played football at CHS. Fell in love with Megan Martin, and next thing you know, now they've got 2 kids and everything else. And when he was running patrol, he was the first man on the scene when I hit a deer one day. One of the many times I've hit a deer, but this particular deer strike was out by Route 28 and 50 where they come together. And I was happy to see a Cavalier stop and help out the old voice of the Cavaliers. I saw him walking over, and he comes over on the passenger side, opens the door, and he says, he's got the flashlight going, "Oh, Mr. Ramey." And I'm like, "Put the light down so I can see who you are." And I went, "Oh, it's Zach. Oh, I'm so glad it's you." And,
He was just checking your pupils.
yeah. They were, I don't know which were wider, my eyes or the eyes of the deer that I hit.
Right.
Because I'm going west on 50, and I'm coming through Slate Mills, and then come across where, the car place was, where they used to work on cars. And so as I'm coming through there, I saw one deer go by, and I'm thinking, okay, another one's going to be coming, so I'm slowing up. I take a look, and what I don't see is one standing right in front of me. And I don't know if you recall what a Grand Dam looks like, but the Grand Dam I was driving hit that deer right under the legs, and it went flying up over top of my car and land. I could see it land in my rearview mirror. And I'm going, kind of like Wile E. Coyote.
How many deer have you hit?
I believe there's been 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I've hit 2, and every time I bring that up, people are like, "You've hit 2 deer?" 7 is a big number. Wow.
5 of those were with that Grand Am. And eventually, my son said, "Dad, this is the last time we're putting the car back together." I said, "Yeah, it's time to get a new car." So we're glad we did. All right, coming up, a look at sports on the way in just a... Yeah, I don't need to go hunting. They find me. Sports on the way next.
The Pike County Career and Technology Center provides hands-on, skilled trades training with engaging curriculums and endless possibilities. From automotive technology, carpentry, business management, to culinary arts and interactive media. From electricity, welding, HVAC, engineering, and medical technology, to pre-nursing, basic food service, and public safety. We're preparing our youth for America's workforce through today's technology. To learn more about Pike County CTC, visit pikectc.org. Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today. Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old.
At Tomlinson Insurance, we've been protecting families, farms, and businesses since 1853. From auto, home, farm, life, or health. We tailor coverage that fits your world with multiple carriers to meet your insurance needs. Real people, real service. Local agents who can answer the phone and care when it matters most. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call or stop by today.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, click on this ad on littermedia.com.
Now it's time for a look at sports, and Dan Ramey will bring us the Haynes Total Healthcare Center High School scoreboard.
Yes, Saturday, a lot of baseball was played. Amanda Clear Creek picked up wins along with Kenton Ridge beating Wheelersburg. Washington got a win over South Webster. Logan Elm takes St. Trace. Logan over Liberty Union, and then Liberty Union got back at him, splitting that doubleheader. Fairfield Union was all over Maysville, 17-2. Lancaster blanked Batavia. Lynchburg Clay over Adena, 6-4. Fairfield took Portsmouth Clay. And West Jefferson over Eastern Meigs. In softball, Chillicothe sweeps the doubleheader. They are now 10-0 as they head into the play this week. They were winners over Northwestern and also Ironton. Miami Trace beating Amanda Clear Creek 19-13, and then they would defeat Adena 12-11. Adena fell to Amanda Clear Creek 6-5, and in both of their games, they had the lead late in the contest, and Adena came up short on both of those. Eastern Meigs, Pickerington North, they split a doubleheader there. Maysville also picked up a win, but never did find out a score on the game 2 that they had. Logan swept New Lexington, and Fairfield picked up a win over Portsmouth Clay. Waverly edged Fairfield. Portsmouth Clay a winner over Waverly. So they had like a triple header going on there.
They had some rock, paper, scissors action going on there.
Yes. And boys tennis, it was Circleville a winner over Hillsboro. 3-1. Now, there's a lot of games being played today. Taze Valley is at Chillicothe, and that will be in the Chillicothe Cavalier Athletic Center for tennis. You're going to be there today,
I
right?
will be there.
I think they serve up the first ball there at 4:30. There is a big softball match going on today in the SVC. Southeastern is at Piketon. Both teams are 8-1 going into today's contest. So,
and you'll be there, right?
I'm going to be heading down there chilling. Literally chilling. So if you see me, I'll You may not recognize me bundled up in a winter coat or something.
That's why I can't go to that one. I'm allergic to the cold.
He literally is.
Literally.
It's crazy.
I came into the loft this morning to do some work, get the show ready. And it was a little chilly up here, and I've been itching.
It's because I had the air conditioner on.
I went and turned it off.
And, yeah, it's like 85 in here now.
It's not.
McLean will be at Chillicothe in baseball today. Miami Trace at Hillsborough, the two FAC games going on there. There are some SVC baseball games as well as softball, so they're both playing at the same places. Southeastern at Piketon, Westfall at Huntington, Adena at St. Trace, Paint Valley at Unioto. All in high school sports today.
And if we want to talk about professional sports, let's start off with the Cavaliers. Not the Cavaliers, the Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets fell to the Winnipeg Jets on Saturday with a 2-1 final, and this marks their 6th straight loss. They'll try to get right tomorrow evening when they take on the Red Wings in Detroit. But what happened?
It's like the ice is melted and they're a sinking ship. Let's cross our fingers that they get things right. But as we mentioned, they've gone through some injuries.
They have.
That has created some difficulty for them.
I'm wondering if teams have figured out what their new coach is doing.
That's possible, too. Yeah, it could be a mixture of things.
Yeah.
It could be, man, they were just on a magical run, and it's just run out. But they find themselves, 6 games left, maybe 5, and they need 3 points to get back into a playoff position, but only 2 points, I think, to get into a wild card position. So, come on, Blue Jackets. We're rooting for you. We're hanging in there as best we can.
Yes.
Cleveland Cavaliers picked up a 117-108 win over the Pacers last night. They will travel to Memphis to take on the Grizzlies tonight at 8 p.m.
The Reds took all 3 of their weekend games against the Rangers. They're now 6-3 and will travel to Miami to face the Marlins tonight at 6:40.
Mm-hmm. They have yet to take a break. They had that. Well, I guess they did have a break after opening day because they had opening day. They take the Friday off, and then they come back with the kids' opening day. So at any rate, that's been the only day off for them. So they're back at it against the Fish tonight. The Guardians came out on top in their series against the Cubs. They've pushed forward to a 6-4 start on the season. They'll stay in Cleveland to host the Royals for a series that begins at 6:40 this evening. UCLA won the Women's National Championship last night, dismantling South Carolina 79-51. The Big Ten gets a Women's National Championship for the first time since Purdue won, I think, in 1997. Maybe it's 99. One of the others, but it's late 90s last time Big Ten won.
Almost 30 years.
National championship.
Yeah, congratulations.
They might win it again today.
They might. The men's NCAA National Championship is set with UConn and Michigan to face off at 8:50 p.m. Who did you have in your brackets championship?
No one.
Oh, yeah, you didn't fill one out.
Precisely.
I had these 2 teams in my championship.
How about that?
So if Michigan wins, I'm doing all right. Mm-hmm. And I'm safe from Waffle House.
Yeah, if you missed this when March Madness began, you were talking about the brackets, and you guys, your bunch of buddies, have a challenge. And
yes.
So you did not lose and find yourself in that challenge. So explain the challenge again.
Okay. Each year, there's a group of buddies. There's 3 of us, and we always do a bracket group.
There's three buddies or 3 groups?
There's 2 buddies, so 3 of us total, and we always do a group every year.
Gotcha. Small group.
And we don't play for any money or anything. The loser, whoever's in last place, gets punished. Mm-hmm. 2 years ago, I had to run the Wendy's 4-for-4 mile, which was not fun. Last year, my friend Simmons had to make, I don't remember if it was 100 or 150 layups in a certain amount of time, but they had to be on opposite sides of a court. And every time he missed one, he couldn't just put one back up. He had to go all the way to the other hoop. So he was running for a long time. And this year, Tate Myers is our big loser. Yeah. And he has to spend 24 hours in a Waffle House, but every waffle eaten is 12 hours, or is 1 hour off your time.
So if he knocks out 24 waffles in 1 hour, he's done.
Hypothetically, yes.
But also phonetically, because if he eats 24 waffles in an hour,
he's not eating 24 waffles in an hour. Well, if it took him a whole hour, he could stop at 23.
Yeah, but why? Why would you want to do that?
I don't know the toll. I don't know if you know the toll that is going to take on a man.
Yeah. And then again, what time does he start? I mean, does he start when everybody's there for breakfast? Does he start when they're all there for dinner? Does he wait until it's 9 o'clock in the evening and trucks start rolling in? And then the truckers are watching this take place.
Here's the thing. You can get out of there in 12 hours because you can keep a 1 waffle per hour pace pretty easy.
Yeah, but the longer you stretch it out,
that's true. But there's no world where you're getting out of there in less than 6 hours. Mm. You're in for it.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the hard part, is the boredom, not the waffles.
There is no boredom in a Waffle House. Have you sat and watched the action at a Waffle House?
Not in a long time.
There's no boredom. You won't get bored. I'm just telling you that right now. That was one of our go-tos when we would go to Clinton Massey, when Chillicothe joined the SCOL, and Clinton Massey was all part of that. And there was a Waffle House off of 71 down towards Cedar Creek, and we would have our pregame meal at the Waffle House and then go do the game.
Waffles.
It was great.
Waffle House is a good spot.
We always had fun. Chillicothe needs a Waffle House.
Yeah.
All right, coming up in a moment, this date in history. On the way next.
Yes.
Tecumseh. Fascinating. Captivating. Mesmerizing. Tecumseh.
Pain was interfering with Tiffany's active lifestyle. Same-day hip replacement at the Adina Orthopedic and Spine Institute got her back to the community she calls home. At Adina, we do what we love, so you can too.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
Litter Quality Propane. Nearly 100 years of serving propane users in southern and central Ohio. Reliable supply, reliable service, reliable people. LitterPropane.com.
Time for this date in history, and we turn the clock back to 1772. Empress of Russia, Catherine the Great, ends the tax on men with beards, enacted by Tsar Peter the Great in 1698.
Peter doesn't sound so great.
No. So thank you, Catherine, a hero to all of we men who wear beards. Yeah, there was a time where the Reds were not allowed to have facial hair. Did you ever know that?
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that. Was before your time. And this was after Marge Schott no longer owned the team. They started allowing the guys to wear facial hair again.
Huh.
And so, yeah, they had that military look a little bit. Well, I can't say military look because Pete Rose did have the longer hair, but it wasn't down to his shoulders. It was just a thick head. I think a lot of people remember seeing. Because Charlie Hustle, when he hustled and he dove and lost his ball cap, you had to see that hair flow, right?
Right.
Bring that picture back up again, would you?
Were they allowed to have mustaches, the Reds?
No. Facial hair. So
the military, you're allowed to have a mustache there.
Well, there was a time you weren't.
Oh, wow. So, didn't know that.
When I saw this drawing, I told Aaron, I said, he needs a lip and a nose. So let me get rid of the nose here. And now it kind of looks like a sloth with a big, what'd you call it?
Unibrow.
Unibrow. So let's get rid of the lip And now it just looks like I think I called it a snow monkey, but kind of looks like a monkey raising its hand.
A little bit,
in victory.
He's celebrating that he can grow his beard back.
Yeah, imagine that. I don't see some of the material you usually use for the end of the show.
That's because I left it on my desk. I'll be right back.
Okay, here he goes. Our lack of show prep. See, we started the show 2 minutes earlier today, but if we would have started on time, all this would have been taken care of. We wouldn't have had this walking over to the desk, getting his show material, and then making his way to the microphone.
Before I read these, if there was a tax on beards today, would you shave?
Probably.
Or would you pay the tax?
I probably wouldn't pay the tax.
I don't know if I could shave it. I haven't been completely clean shaven in a long time, and when I do, I look like a 14-year-old.
I'm glad you said that, because that was why I started growing a beard. And my wife said that. She said, here we were, I think the last time I shaved it completely might have been 1988. And I haven't done it since. And she said, I hate it when you shave that off because you look like you're 14 and I don't.
Yeah. My wife doesn't mind when I shave the beard off, but I have to keep my mustache. She says, as long as that's there, I don't care what you do.
Is that right?
Yeah. She doesn't like when the beard gets too long.
So you can do anything else. You just can't get rid of the
I can keep it from being too long, and I can always keep the mustache.
Gotcha.
But beard length other than that, she doesn't really care about.
I got news for you. As he gets older, Kinsey, he'll probably start having these long nose hairs that come out too.
I've got those.
You
already.
might take issue.
I've got those. Don't worry about that. She knows about that.
Ears.
None of that yet. Today is April 6th. It's Caramel Popcorn Day.
Ooh.
Employee Benefits Day.
Ah.
Carbonara Day. New Beer's Eve. I don't know what that is. New beer tomorrow, I guess.
Apparently so.
Keep an eye out for that. Sorry Charlie Day.
Ooh. Sorry that didn't work out for you, Charlie.
I don't know who Charlie is. It's Student Athlete Day. Now, that's something we here at Litter Media, we can celebrate.
Oh, yeah.
We got a lot of great student athletes in this area, and they're all awesome.
And that gives us an opportunity to say, don't forget to put in your nominations for the... Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You're ready to hear this?
Yes.
For the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
See, I was trying to get you there, and you caught my pass.
Send that to littermedia@gmail.com.
Yes. It's also IEP Writing Day, Tartan Day, and Teflon Day.
Tartan?
Yeah.
I think that's Tartan Day.
I don't know what it is. Is that like tartar sauce?
No.
Okay.
Google. All right, that's it for the program today. Thank you for watching this edition of Litter Media Live. We have a special edition for you tomorrow at 10 a.m. We're going to talk about the Scioto River cleanup with Sarah Wood. She'll be stopping in to share details and how you can participate and the importance of why we do this each and every year. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Monday. Thanks for watching Litter Media Live.